Welcome back to Blueprint for Green. A few weeks ago, we introduced you to a project called the Idea Farm. Builder-designer Peter Vujovich and his wife, Jill, have wanted to build their own farmhouse for years. But as Peter will tell you, this is not your grandma's farmhouse.
This is a cutting-edge farmhouse.
The 15-acre farm near Afton, Minnesota is taking shape on a former tree farm. And that brings us to our first order of business. Since Peter is focused on sustainability, he's not going to cut down these trees. Instead, he's finding them a new place to call home. And this contraption makes the job a whole lot easier.
I gotta say, I was surprised at the size of tree that you can move today.
Most of the conifers we can probably easily salvage or transplant anything up to about 25 feet in height.
When it was all said and done, about 60 trees were relocated to properties near the Idea Farm.
So now I get to ride my bicycle around and visit the trees and just see how they're doing.
Not only can Peter still see his trees, he now has room on his property to make the Idea Farm a reality. In just a couple months' time, the barn has gone up and the main house and carriage house are really taking shape. All the wood is locally sourced and FSC certified, meaning it comes from sustainably managed forests. And here, when it comes to framing, less is more.
And because we can put in a 2x4, 2 feet on center, it saves the usual spacing, which is 16 inches on center. So it's a little bit more wood that doesn't have to be put into the structure, and it saves lumber.
The Shaw Stewart lumber team with Tappy Construction are known for experimenting with efficient yet durable building practices. In the main house, the advanced framing method is also teamed up with a new foam wall sheathing product that replaces plywood.
Now, Peter, you've got this dowel product on the exterior, obviously, to help your insulating factors of the home. Tell me what that's all about.
This is a new product from Dow. We're experimenting with it, and so far, we like it a lot. It creates a drain plane that's continuous and allows any moisture that might accumulate behind our siding to roll right on off the outside of the building.
Now, by putting the insulation to the outside, we warm up the outside of the stud cavity and again force the heat to work its way all the way through the insulation before it escapes.
Proper insulation is a big step toward making a home green. These foundation walls are made from a product called thermomass by Composite Technologies. It's insulation sandwiched between concrete slabs.
Well, one of the great things about using concrete is that it has a tremendous ability to store energy. So by putting your concrete inside of the wall, now the energy that you're putting into that room as far as heating and cooling goes is now absorbed and contained in that concrete.
Thermomass is also mold resistant. The concrete in combination with the styrofoam insulation creates a moisture barrier, allowing no food for mold or mildew to grow.
So here in the energy room, we have all of the geopiping now has come up. We found some great wet soils down in the horse pasture where there's a lot of good heat transfer because you don't want these dry sand like we found everywhere else on our site. So we were able to find this wet clay, which made the geo guys just like, yes!
The geothermal system will be used to heat and cool both the main house and the carriage house. Crews from Binder Heating and Cooling are digging a trench about 8 feet deep to get below the frost line. This is what's known as a horizontal closed loop system versus a vertical system, which requires digging deep wells and a lot more money.
We're taking the heat from the ground. That's really solar energy that's stored in the Earth's crust. And we're using that to work with a heat pump system to supply the heating for the home, and it's also the cooling for the system.
A lot has been accomplished, but there's still more work ahead. In the coming weeks, we'll show you how the Idea Farm is preserving the past and getting all the details right to make this a living laboratory of green. We hope you've enjoyed this week's show. If you have any questions about something you may have seen, want to share your own green ideas, or pick up a DVD of this episode, log on to blueprintforgreen.com. I'm Randy Meyer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time on Blueprint for Green.